Titanfall 2 is a speedy game. Not only do you move fast and shoot fast, but you also slip and slide all over the arena as if you were a soap bar in a bathtub. This game has a long history, not only going back to the fact that it is what kept the company alive after the disaster that was Titanfall 2, but also the fact that they mastered having a fast-paced shooter that would later become a pretty lame and honestly slow battle royale called Apex Legends. Titanfall 2 also came across the TF2 curse, where both games were abandoned before getting bot-ridden, then getting a new game mode added to them recently. Titanfall 2 is definitely worth getting it during a sale, because while there might not be that many players, it's still a fun and good game to play with anyone that you can find online. The game is also pretty fast, so any matches will last pretty much a short while, so you'll be fine on time if you want to play a quick match of it. In full explanation, Titanfall 2 is a game with class loadouts and class specialty. These class specialties come in the form of different loadouts. Each specialty will be either useful to one loadout but not useful to the other loadout. Depending on which one you choose, you either have a very fun and useful utility option or a complete gimmick that doesn't even work properly. We'll be taking a look at each class specialty from my favorite to least favorite. Starting with, as the crackhead of the group, you not only move a lot more faster, but you also heal a tad bit from your drug usage. Add this and the fact that you can add other add-ons that make you regenerate your drugs faster, it definitely adds for a more fun and exciting experience when playing Titanfall. The stim offers that game plan. Essentially, you run in, you gun, and then you leave. Is the stim the most useful specialty in the game? Yes, I do genuinely think that it is. The two downsides to this is the fact that you're not gonna hit every shot. Since you're moving so quickly, it's actually a lot more difficult to hit your shots. And the unintended downside that whenever your stim eventually comes to an end, you feel a lot slower and a lot sluggish. Although this is just because you were really fast at the beginning of the round. The grapple hook is a tame and light version of the stim. While you do speed up and carry a lot of momentum, it doesn't heal or speed you in any way. Add this to the fact that you need to be more skilled with the grapple hook, it definitely adds a measure of, skill balance. But that does not matter since it still allows you to run and gun, but this time with a lot more style. Add the fact that you can also grapple onto players and melee them, it's definitely worth a try, even if you don't like how slow the grapple hook might be. While I do prefer the stim to the grapple hook, it's definitely worth it if you just don't like how weird the stim feels on you. Because everyone is a glass cannon that you can't see is way better. The cloak offers that and more. The cloak works like this. For every unoffensive action that you do, the more time you'll have with it. While it is efficient to hide away from anyone that was chasing you, it's definitely more boring and a less tame version, like this guy. However, committing any offensive action will immediately reveal your surroundings for the exception of melee, where if you hit someone with a melee, you'll cloak back. So, if you combine the fact that most players are kind of oblivious and the fact that, many people aren't going to be exactly looking around, Cloak adds a layer to gameplay that is similar to that of the Spy from TF2. Once more, a big, massive glass cannon that can deal a lot of damage, however, once they're spotted, it's dead. The difference is that now you can actually defend yourself properly. I've been using Cloak more often, and I would say that it is better, but I tend to like things that speed up my gameplay. But that's just me. Depending on how you use it and how creative you can be, Hollow-Plight is... I don't know how to feel about it. Sure, duplicating yourself is a good way to trick the enemy, and it's even gotten me out of some sticky situations, and when the enemy has used it on me, it's definitely worked. But I can't help but feel like it's more of a gimmick. In a game where everything dies so fast, Hollow-Pilot definitely feels so plain and just useless. However, it's worth a try if you're into that kind of stuff. It's the equivalent of saying that I am better than you in every way possible, similar to how when you're playing gun game in any Call of Duty, where you just go around knifing people because it's fun. That is what Hollow-Pilot is. It's simple fun. These last two I will classify as the worst specials in the game. While sure they can be useful in certain situations, that is just kind of meh. Think of these two as your weird uncles. Sure, they might touch you a little bit here and there, but they give you money, I guess. AWOL is the only one that I do not have footage for, because it is downright boring. You place a wall, any damage that is against the wall will be negated, and you deal twice more damage. And that's the problem. It's a wall. And whenever you're moving, well, you know, a wall doesn't really kind of stay there. It's a lot more gimmicky than you think. Sure, it's harder to kill you, but in a game of Titans, grenades, and, you know, other pilots with useful things, a wall might protect you. I've seen it ran once, and even then, it felt pretty useless, and I don't know, it just feels useless. Phase shift is a gimmick, plain and simple. It lasts 3 seconds leading for an escape, and the only reason you'll use this is because of the funny inside kill. Essentially, anytime you appear somewhere where someone is physically at in the real world, you pop back in and you explode them. In a game where 3 other specialties already do this job and do it way better, it definitely feels like phase shift lacks a lot that the other ones do. Finally, the last one is so boring that I legitimately crippled over and died once I got the kill. The pulse blade is wall hacks in a knife. That is it. It's simply wall hacks with a knife. Even though you can one-shot someone if you throw the knife, and if that knife lands on someone, it's a lot rarer to see that. While, yeah, it is more commonly run, I don't know, it feels a lot more useless than the rest of the utility perks. Plus, the wall hacks already have, like, a better alternative to them, so I don't really understand this being in the game at all. After you're done picking what pilot specialty you have, I hope you chose Stim, now it's time to decide what Titan you will want. Titans are this game's main appeal. There are 6 Titans in general, each one of them with their own style, gameplay, and each with their own gimmicks and special abilities. Just because you're in a Titan doesn't mean that you're invincible, as pilots have anti-Titan weapons that can deal holy amounts of damage. Also, other Titans can deal major damage to you, plus the fact that pilots can also mount you and remove your battery, leading to massive damage. So, let's see what Titan you would like to play as. If you're an introvert, then you might like Northstar since you're fighting from far away and don't enjoy confrontation. Your main weapon is a sniper that can deal so much damage to both players and Titans when they're not really close to you. And also, if you really want to, you can zone out of the fight and just lift your feet off the ground for once. Every weeaboo has a dream, that of being not gross, disgusting, and pathetic. Rowan is that weeb's dream. Having 2 dashes and a phase shift to dodge showers, plus your melee weapon being a katana, means that most gacha players will pick this. However, like gacha players, you want them as far away from you as possible. Because if they touch you, they'll start telling you how their favorite game is so good, how the gameplay is amazing, and how it compares to nothing in the market at the time, and the fact that their favorite waifu in that game looks like a child. Like most arsons, Scorch sets things on fire. They shoot one massive pyroblast and can make a wall of flames. As well as having the second best defense in the game, a fire shield that not only blocks projectiles coming to them, but also if any Titans are close, it will slowly burn their health away. They are simple, and that's what makes them great. The only reason you chose Ion was because of either the massive laser that he has, or you're new to the game. Ion is boring and is just not my favorite Titan in general. Although he has a giant laser strapped to him, it's not worth playing Ion, honestly. You're definitely compensating for something, but even then, you know results don't lie. Legion has a big gun. That's literally it. Your massive gun has 2 modes, small and large. Large makes your minigun a literal sniper rifle with rapid fire. I feel so bad for Northstar mains. And small is for when you feel like your privacy is getting affected, and you want people to back up a little bit. This is the equivalent to saying that no Russian was your favorite mission, plus the fact that when it's small, you're able to knock people out, because it's just that tiny. Drone has the only useful AWOL in the game. Literally protects everyone anywhere from incoming damage, and the fact that your Titan is so big that it can't possibly flank in time is what makes and does well for Tome. The most common Titans that you'll probably find is both Legion, Ronin, and maybe Northstar. However, Ion is also taking up that spot alongside Scorch. But hey, be the difference you want to be if you want to play one of the most boring Titans. And that is Titanfall 2. An old game, and honestly have the same issues with TF2, but recently both games have been getting silent updates, and Titanfall 2 has been gaining a lot more players, while TF2 is still struggling. Speaking about TF2,